Hello, all, and welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. I hope life is well on your side of the planet. It's finally stopped raining in Northern Virginia. I was like, it feels like we're in the Pacific Northwest, overcast, rain, and more freaking rain. So the sun actually came out today, and I couldn't be happier about that. But anyways, I digress. I wanted to talk to you guys today about a specific book that I've just finished reading. Yes, I'm somewhat of a bookworm, and I like to share my little thoughts on specific books. And this book, The Power of Broke by Daymond John. And I think this is a great book. I took a lot of great points away from this book, and I wanted to share those points with you all. And just hopefully you guys will go out there and purchase the book, whether it's a hard copy or online copy, whatever have you, digital. A lot of people love to listen to audiobooks nowadays, and I get it because people are so busy to the point where they don't really have time to read, so they listen to it while they're working out, take a walk, while they're going to work, or while they're conducting their business, whatever have you. And I get it. Maybe one day I'll get on that tip, but anyways, I'm still old-fashioned when it comes to certain things. With me and technology, we are the best of friends. So anyways, first off, I like to say I love the book because of one reason. I love people like Daymond John who are self-made. They didn't get any loans from their parents. Nothing was given to them. They had to work for it. And he grew up in Hollis, Queens, New York City, by a single mother. And I can definitely relate to that because I was raised by a single mother, a very strong woman who helped raise me and instill specific values in me to ensure that I didn't go to jail and stay in trouble, hang around with the wrong people, get a reasonable education, obtain the right skill sets in order for me to become a grown man and be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And I had other men in my life that did that, but I was raised by a woman. So I give a shout out to the strong women out there that are raising children on their own and not coming up with any excuses why they can't do it. Because my mother did it, I believe anybody can do it, but that's another disclaimer. And another thing that I loved about this book, because it hits home for me in a sense, Damon's mother, she worked 2 jobs in order for them to have a roof over their head. She owned a house in Queens. And she did something that was really admirable that I think most parents would do for their children. She wanted to make sure that her son didn't get into any trouble while he was getting older in his teen years. His 2nd year in high school, she noticed that Daymond John was actually getting in a little bit of trouble here and there, like a lot of teenagers do, because nobody's perfect. And she decided that financially she wanted to quit her 2nd job, but she had to figure out a way to do it in order for them to keep the roof over their head. So she took out a second mortgage, an $80,000 mortgage on their house, so that she, for the last 2 years of his high school life, that she could be at home to make sure that he stayed out of trouble and keep his nose in the books. And he did, and he did that. He graduated high school. And another great thing that I found out about Daymond John is that he is dyslexic. I myself suffer from certain learning disabilities. A lot of times if people give me too much information, I have a hard time processing the information. So I always tell people, don't give me the dissertation, give it to me in bullets, or give me a paragraph or 2. But outside of that, if you don't, then you're going to lose my attention. But that's just another way that I related to this book. Daymond was able to go beyond his horizons by going to college and see the world outside of Queens, New York, and New York City in itself. And he could see that there was other aspects to life that he wanted to pursue. He wanted to find out. And something about fashion really caught his eye. He was able to get a good paying job when he got out of college, but he knew that wasn't something he wanted to do for the rest of his life. Like most millennials and the cloud generation that are becoming the majority of people that's within the United States of America. We don't want to do the just normal 9 to 5 for 30 years and retire. We will actually want to live a life that we don't want to vacation from. And I can totally get behind that. And that's the main reason why I'm on my entrepreneurial journey. And I hope that you all out there are as well. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your job set is. I don't care how many degrees you have. I think everybody should have a side hustle, side business, a partnership in business. Everybody needs to have a mind and a head for business on some level. You don't need to be 100% owner, but you should be at least 5 to 10% of an owner of something outside of just owning a home. but that's just my personal opinion. One of the things that, and I didn't even say this, so Daymond John, he's actually one of the creators of the name brand FUBU, clothing brand FUBU, for us, which stands for us, by us. And if you're not a fan, or if you've never heard of the show called Shark Tank, he's one of the panel members that sits on Shark Tank, which is a show that talks about, well, it's a show that has a variety of entrepreneurs like himself on there, and they're allowing people from all over to pitch their ideas to them in hopes that they actually take their businesses, because these are already businesses that are already established, take their businesses to the next level. So somebody's business might be at the small family level, but they want to be able to take their business to the national or the global level. So in order for them to increase their profit margins within their business. And it's something that he's obviously passionate about because he still does the show. But another great thing that I took away from this book is that he owned so many businesses at one time. A lot of things were not in complete order when it came to all of his businesses, because that's the whole idea of a real successful entrepreneur. You want to be able to have multiple streams of income and not have to worry about because if one dries up, if one company goes bankrupt for whatever reason, or one product is not selling anymore, you have all these other sources of income to get money from. So money's never a real issue, but ensuring that your company's on point and your partnership within those companies on point is another thing. So he had to end up hiring a bigger staff than he thought he was going to have to hire, because his business, he kept buying into all these businesses, and he was growing and growing and growing, and I thought that was pretty cool. So he was learning to not try to do it all himself. There's only so many hours within a day any human being can really work, and that's why once your company grows, therefore your staff needs to grow. It's that good old adage, supply and demand, and his demand kept growing because of the more of the companies that he kept buying into. So he knew that he couldn't do it all on his own. None of us can. We all need help when it comes to taking things to the next level, or at least keeping the stabilization of the countless amount of businesses that one might have. So it's just food for thought when it comes to that. So that's one of the things I love about the book. And then obviously another thing, he doesn't fall in the bougie category. He never forgets where he comes from. He's given back to his community and various other struggling communities throughout the United States and throughout the world. And that's one thing that I can definitely take away from this book that I love. He actually believes in a philosophy in a sense like I believe in, which is he doesn't believe in giving handouts. He believes in giving hand-ups. And because a handout obviously is just, okay, you need $1,000, here you go. 2 years later, oh, I need $5,000, here you go. That's a handout. But a hand-up is, hey, I need you to invest in my business. Or we need some sort of a job training or school facility within this community. We need more jobs brought to this community. That's giving a hand up, because you're creating the opportunity for somebody to work for something instead of just giving it out to them. I get it, and that's the one thing that I love about this book. At the same time, then he's developing categories, which a lot of entrepreneurs are doing. A lot of big major corporations are doing this. They're teaching people more skill sets that are in demand that the public and private schools are not teaching people, because a lot of them, I hate to say it, are just becoming obsolete because a lot of people are overeducated, but they don't have the right skill sets in order for them to get hired, to get paid, to do a lot of great jobs that are out there that are going unfilled because people don't have the skill sets to occupy those positions. But he believes in teaching people entrepreneurship, because I think everybody has to have the mindset of an entrepreneur in today's economy and tomorrow's economy, because things are just not the same as they were back in the 80s and 90s, and they never will be as long as technology is in existence. I mean, people are, like I always say, people are running businesses off their cell phones and tablets nowadays. Successful businesses at that. Come on now, we all have to get with the time. So that's one thing I loved about the book. And he's always remains humble. When you're a humble person, you don't have to make a lot of noise and say, oh, I'm this and I'm that, etc. and so forth. He's a humble person, and he's so thankful. At the end of the book, he couldn't even thank all the people, but he always kept saying, you know who you are. He knew he wouldn't get where he was at today if it wasn't for these people, his mentors, his partners, the people he started out with, the people he's met on the way, because it's all about the journey at the end of the day at the same time. He never forgets the people he grew up with and came up with, but he definitely appreciates the new people that he has in his life, and he took the chances of going outside of his comfort zone in order for him to meet these right people so that he could take his companies to the next level, to his brands to the next level. So I thought that was just awesome, and he gives back in a great way by giving hand ups and not handouts. So that's obviously a great, in my opinion, a great thing. And another thing is, he says if you haven't, when it comes to new entrepreneurs, he gives great advice. If you haven't invested any real time and money, both of these things, time and money, into your own business and your own brand, then do not, I repeat, do not go to successful entrepreneurs with your idea, because you're not telling him, by not doing that, you're telling him that you do not have any real skin in the game of your vision of your future company. You don't even have a customer, and that's the thing. I hear entrepreneurs say this all the time, and I couldn't agree with them more. They say before you start getting the business cards, before you establish the LLC, before you get the website, please ensure one thing, that you have a customer. And I was like, you know what? I couldn't agree with you more on that one, because you're wasting time in a sense, and you're wasting money if you don't have a customer. If anybody's ever seen Shark Tank, you see majority of those people that are on there have customers. I think it's mandatory they have customers, because that's the mindset of those successful entrepreneurs. If you have everything invested in your business, then it makes sense for you to go to somebody that already has multiple businesses and experiences of growing small businesses into the great potential that they know that they can be. They're going to be like, okay, well, what have you done? What have you got invested? Why should I invest my money into something that you haven't even invested a penny into? So I think that's an admirable statement, and I couldn't agree with it more. It's like myself, I'm starting my own real estate business. I put time and money into it, and I will continuously do that. And if I ever pitch the ideas to anybody that wants to partner up with me or anything of that nature, they're going to see that I got skin in the game. And if they turn me down and turn me away, it's for other reasons other than that. So it's just something to think about. So I'll end this video off with the PowerPoints that he calls the Power of Broke Principles. There was about 8 of them, and I had a few of them that I like myself, and I definitely want to go over them before we finish this video up tonight. So the first one, and I'm going to read this off to make sure I get it correct. Broke Power Principle 1. Use all of the resources that are available to you, but don't expect to just flip the switch and get them all cranking on autopilot. So what I take away from that is, you're trying to start an idea of a business of some sort. You're trying to just get it started. Use whatever resources that are available to you. And the beautiful thing of technology, you have a lot of great resources available to you at sometimes $0 or a couple of dollars, but usually it doesn't exceed the amount it would cost for you to go grocery shopping or get gas nowadays, because obviously the price on all that stuff has gone up. So use what you have. Look at me. I'm using my cell phone. I'm using the little resources to make these specific purchases, to establish businesses, go into the right trainings, to establish relationships. Next week I'm going to another real estate investment training session for 3 days, and I'm going to network with people and utilize whatever time and resources that I can from that event, and try to meet potential private money lenders in order for me to buy more properties. I'm using what resources I have within my vicinity of where I live at and the people that I'm around. And I want to continuously meet more people that have the same mindset, because I'm trying to go someplace in this life, and if nobody's on that same level or at that level, then there's no point in me really trying to engage with people on a regular basis, because it's all about the mindset. But that's another story. Learn and embrace the power of optimization. This is Powerbook Principle 3. Optimization by making the best use of your time. The old saying goes, you can get back money, but you can never get back time. And when you're trying to do something with your life and take it to the next level, the outside of the box thinking, the outside of the box living, you have to make use of your time. And if all you're worried about, Pusha T and Drake battling with each other, I'm 35 years old. I don't care. What is that doing for me? What is that doing for my company? Not a darn thing. So I have nothing against those two. They're talented artists that make a lot of great money, but who cares? That is a waste of time. What is that doing for Larry Patterson? Not a darn thing. So that's another story. You can't get back your time. You can always get back money, but you can't get back your time. So why waste it on that nonsense? That's just my opinion. All right. So Power Broke Principle 2: keep it real. Strive for authenticity in everything. And I like that. I consider myself to be a real person. I strive to be authentic as much as possible when it comes to anything and everything that I do. And I expect anybody who I deal with to do the same thing and treat me with the same courtesy. Because we have enough fake people, plastic people, I call them mannequins, out there that are not true to themselves. And when you're not true to yourself and what you're trying to do, eventually the chickens will come home to roost. What you do in the dark will come out in the light. It's just one of those things. So when you don't lie, it's not that hard to tell the truth. You don't have to constantly remember what you said when you're just telling the truth and you're being true and genuine of who you are and what you're trying to do. Strive to be authentic in anything and everything that you do. And for those parents out there, I would imagine you would want to do the same thing for your children. You want them to do the same thing as well. So, Broke Power Principle 3: learn and embrace the power of optimization by making the best use of your time. Oh yeah, I already said that one. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Broke Power Principle 5. I need to wake up. Put all of your passion and purpose behind whatever it is you're doing. I'm passionate about what I'm doing right now. I'm passionate about buying properties and collecting passive income off of specific properties. And living a life that I do not have to vacation from. That you can't put a price tag on. You can't, the time and energy and money that I'm putting into what I just explained, that's what I'm passionate about. So when you're passionate about something, it just doesn't feel like work. So what I'm doing right now, it doesn't feel like work. If I could do this all day, I would. If I could do this kind of research all day, I would. If I could just find properties to buy and rent out, I would. That's what I'm passionate about. If I can go on vacation and still work and run my businesses, I would, and I will. And that's how I look at passion. My passion. If you want to share your passions with me, please do in the comment sections. I'm trying to make this more of an interacting thing. I don't mind talking, but I don't want it to just be about me. That's why I call it Larry's Anything Goes, because we can all disengage with one another, and let's do it in a respectable manner like real adults should. Let's not do all the troll nonsense. I'm not here to disrespect anybody. Please, nobody disrespect me, and let's act like adults, reasonable, classy adults that I know everybody can be. But whatever you're passionate about, it never feels like work. And you can ask people like the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bill Gates, the Mark Cubans, the Daymond Johnsons of the world. They don't feel like they're working. Even though it's hard what they're doing, they don't feel like they're working because majority of the time they're passionate about it. And if anybody's ever seen the show Shark Tank or shows like Shark Tank, those people don't look stressed out for the most part. Those people are enjoying themselves. They love what they do. And when you love what you do, you don't really do a freaking day's work in your life. So it's just something to think about. So let's see. What's the next one? Oh, yeah. Power Broke Principle 6. Take the time to understand and appreciate everyone you meet on your path to success. And I love that one. That's why that one stuck out to me, because the last real estate investment conference I went to was the RE Mentors. It was awesome. I met a lot of great people, from the instructors to the people that was there with me that are becoming real estate investors. Great people with all different perspectives, people from all over the country, mostly on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast, and certain parts of the South. Great atmosphere, and I'm still in contact with a lot of those people today because we all have the same mindset. And I think that those relationships will continue to grow and thrive because we have an appreciation for our passions and appreciation for everyone's different background and knowledge set that we bring to the table. And I think that's just great. And I think whenever you put in a setting like that, it just improves the quality of your life. Broke Power Principle 7. Think beyond the moment. Find a way to support your vision with logic, data, and realistic projections. That's great. I can relate to that because I try to think beyond the moment of or what's presented to me or what I'm trying to present to somebody else. And obviously, when it comes to your vision, we can all have vision, no matter what it may be. But you have to bring logic and data to the table, because without logic and data, your vision cannot really become realistic. You can think about it all day, but until you find some specific evidence that can support what you're trying to do and come at it from a logical perspective, then it doesn't become a realistic for you. So, and last but not least, Power Broke Principle 8, make the probability of your success a natural part of your thinking. Make the probability of your success a natural part of your thinking. I said it earlier. The mind is a powerful place. And I believe if you embrace different aspects of thinking, different perspectives, whether you like them or not, and keep that success as a natural part of your thinking by waking up. I wake up and read positive affirmations on a regular basis. Sometimes I go to bed reading a positive affirmation, because it's hard to stay motivated some days, especially when you're not around the kind of people who are embracing what you're trying to do with yourself and with others. So sometimes you need that. A lot of people use positive affirmations. A lot of people use a spiritual, religious affirmations. Whatever helps you get to where you're trying to go, do what you have to do. That's how I look at it, because the positive circle, positive affirmation, positive vibes can bring you to another place in your life that you never thought that you would be. And I'll end this video off with saying thanks to everybody who has recently joined Larry's Anything Goes. Thanks for the people that have believe in me and are continuously on my side when it comes to what I'm trying to do. Definitely thanks to the people that have been on the Larry's Anything Goes site for a while now, since the beginning. Greatly appreciate it. Please share the videos with everybody. Thank you for your support. And I will have the link for this book, always a disclaimer. And if you want a digitized copy, let me know, and I'll put that version on there. But I have the hard copy on there, and I will leave the link for my website, Larry's Anything Goes, in the comments section. You can go directly there, and you go to the product section on my website, and there you can buy it. And because I am an Amazon affiliate, so I'm not trying to pull any shenanigans or anything of that nature. This is not a scheme. I'm an Amazon affiliate. There are Amazon affiliates out there. You can purchase this book through there, and at a decent rate. And yes, I do get a commission off of it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, this is a great book. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to enjoy reading Empire of Their Own. That's the next book I'm going to read, and that's in regards to how the Jewish community created Hollywood. So I think I've started it off, and it's great thus far. So anyways, thanks again. It's a great Monday. It's another great day to be alive. I hope you and yours are doing great, and continuously keep dreaming and continuously keep hustling until you obtain and achieve your dream and get another dream and achieve it and attain it. Take it easy.